Hey, Don here. Okay, well, I'm back with another live stream. Got an itch there. Um, let's see. Let me go ahead and check my audio and all that. I can see my stream over there on my preview. Looks good. I was all turned around. I wouldn't go to my desktop, and I'll show you what I did. I guess it's not too unusual, but trying to. Well, I was gonna try to recheck it after I switched, and all I'm doing is getting confused. I'm confused tonight, evidently. I'm trying to go fast and get things done, and it's just making me more confused. So on the desktop here in OBS Studio, I have two start and stop buttons on the right there, and I don't want to accidentally click them. The top one starts and stops the stream, and they can be work together or separately. I keep them working separately so that I can always have a safe backup. And the second one starts and stops recording. So, well, sort of together, sort of separately. If you hit start a stream, you can set it different ways, but I have it set, you start a stream, it automatically starts recording. But if I stop a stream, it doesn't stop the recording. That way, if I accidentally stop it on a keyboard shortcut, or if I lose my, if you lose your internet connection for a while, I think that stream may stop automatically. But anyway, that way my backup's running until I manually stop it. Well, what I did, I've done it before, I accidentally hit start recording, and I was looking for my stream, and it wasn't there, and I was talking about it, and looking on my web browser over here, and because I had it on the laptop and it wasn't showing up, so I looked over here and it wasn't, sure enough, wasn't there, and so finally I looked at that 5 times. Finally, I saw my eyes are just blurry, eyes are crossed and blurry all at the same time, I guess. So that's it. So if you have that problem, check your buttons there. Of course, it could be the stream's not working right, but and I especially thought that because this silly counter's still counting backwards. It starts at an hour, -1 hour, and then it counts backwards to 0, and then it starts going forward. It's got a bug in it the last few days. Something they fixed broke that, but everything still works other than that. But anyway, this is Easy2Boot, and the website, I was talking about that a while ago, and I was copying files over to it. My Easy2Boot SD card, or micro SD card that I have in the USB adapter. Got it plugged into the machine over there. I'm going to boot it in a minute, and I was going to go through a little bit about it, so it wouldn't just be some mythical thing I was talking about. And I want to make sure make sure I'm showing what I think I'm showing. I get turned around too easy. So Easy2Boot with a 2 instead of 2 It is a system that you can build a multi-boot SD card, USB stick, SD card. Well, you can build a SD card and a USB adapter. I know that works. That's what I'm doing. USB drive is what it's set up for. And it's open source, freeware system. It is actually. It says in here that you can run it. You can do. There's a script up here. Where does it say that? Very top, I think. Linux users can use a shell script here, but they recommend you use the Windows system, which is what I did, but I didn't do it exactly the way they said to do it. Probably should have, might have made things easier, but it'll just automatically set it up for you if you run the. Where is it here? There's a quick. This is kind of the quick start guide. Well, that's the quick start guide. This is the. Yeah, this is the quick start guide. Okay, and it's not all that quick. I'm not going to go through it all, but it's quite a learning curve for me. I think it would be for most people if you hadn't done this specific thing before, because it's a very specific. It's done. I've used a lot of multi-boot programs that run in Linux and Windows both, and most of them do run in Windows. To set up a Linux multi-boot, oddly enough. Well, it makes sense because most people are moving. I don't know. They think. I guess they figure most people are on Windows and moving and going to try out Linux. But I've been using Linux since '05 every day, all day, and So I'd prefer to work in Linux if I can, but sometimes I like, some things you might, if you want to do something like this, there's only 2 or 3 that will run in Linux, that'll write to a USB stick like that. And I don't think any of them actually will do multi-boot. And I like to set up multi-boot, ISOs to boot from different ISOs. So it's really good for like when you can set up, like I have 4 virus scanners in here when I want to clean up a Windows system, and I have I had 4 Windows installers, and I just deleted 2 to make room on my little card here. And anyway, what's cool about this one is you can just delete delete an ISO or write a new ISO to it, and it'll just work. It'll search through all the folders and find what's there, and then it'll set up a menu. The others, if you take anything off and put something else new, either you have to use the program, and there's all these ifs, ands, or buts. They'll only support certain ISOs and stuff, and I found some ways to like delete one, put a new one on there, and then go manually edit some of the config files to make it work and boot right. And this one is wonderful compared to all that, especially once you get it set up. And so anyway, you're going to at least read this page, probably go to the main page, and Easy2Boot.com, I guess, is the main page. And anyway, go through all this. If you just follow the instructions, what I did is I had this card already had a bunch of files on it, and I didn't have any place to put them, so I didn't want to reformat it. So there's a way to do it without having to reformat it. I did that, and it was kind of the harder way. That's what I was saying a minute ago. That says check on the red, make Easy2Boot drive. That's the Windows setup program that you'll get if you download it. And I'm not going to go through all the details, but one thing I was mentioning down here, it says after you've set it up and everything, it says after you've copied it over, run this. This is a Windows CMD file. Make this drive contiguous from the Easy2Boot. It's already on there, and you just need to leave it where it is and run it. Let's see. I don't know what that sentence is not making sense to me. I'm going by my memory. Let's see. After all files have been copied over, make this drive contiguous CMD from the Easy2Boot drive to run win-config exe. I guess there's just no punctuation in there. Well, either you run that file from itself, or you run the this one here, and it'll run this one for you. Probably what it does. I can't look at the drive now. I've already plugged it into the other machine. And so but it says this step is only required if imgptn and Linux payload files are fragmented. And imgptn files, it tells somewhere in here that those are the type of install files that you use. Well, let's go to the next sentence. This let's see, file are fragmented, but you might as well do it now. And yeah, you might as well, it doesn't take that long. At the very most, I've had it take 20 minutes, usually 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes it doesn't even take if it's already been done and you run it, then it's over before you realize it started, because it sees there's nothing to do. Large Windows ISOs and VDHs do not need to be made contiguous unless they are very fragmented, so don't worry if these cannot be defragmented. Okay, I saw something that couldn't be defragmented, and I thought, is that bad? And now I see that. So much in this to remember. And I tried this just a while ago, and Linux users can run defrag-fs, and it tells you right where it is in the folder. I had never caught that before, and I tried. If I did, I don't remember it. And I tried running it, and I got permission denied. So I thought, okay, I need to log in as root. So I did that. Still said permission denied. And that's the same problem the last several times I tried to run it in Windows. So I think it's something funky went on with my SD card with the permissions, because I used to be able to run it, and I didn't want to just try. It's really saying you probably don't have to run it anyway. I don't have any files with that imgptn type of extension, so mine are just ISOs, all of them. That I'm trying to boot to. So I I know when I very first built it, it wouldn't work right, and I did have to run that. But I ran it several times since, and then it got to where I kept getting that. And I don't know about that, why it keeps saying, yeah, there it is, make files contiguous CMD. That's what I thought. That's what you run. I don't understand that sentence. I guess that's always thrown me off the way they wrote that in there. I don't know what that's. This is what you do right there. And then it says now boot from it, have fun, and go on. And then there's a bunch more just on that page, and that's just one page. But anyway, where you download it is on here somewhere on this site, probably in Go Home. Probably find it real quick from there. Let's see. We might just look. There's a video. I would watch that video. It'll show you what it is and what it does, and then you can see if you're interested in it. Somewhere on there there'll be download, but you see there's really a lot to learn. It's a real specialty thing. It's cool though. So I just wanted to explain there what I was talking about. Now I'm going to boot it up. So let's get over here on that, and that shows my screen. And of course it's going to be blurry. That's the best resolution I can get out of these phone cameras. But I'm going to switch my KVM switch over so that I can control that mom's machine. It's her machine, her. Now that's the thing that where I can easily make big mistakes on showing what I'm trying to show, because now I can't see my preview. So I'm going to go ahead and reload my preview over here on my laptop from my actual YouTube live page. And make sure it's showing what I'm doing. And oh yeah. Get to hear me cough again. It's a real fine line between me being able to hear it and it being really loud. Okay, now that should be good enough. Okay, so we have to stop it because it drives me nuts. Now I'm going to go start them up. And it's on its way here. And well, now this machine may not see it. We'll see. I had to go into BIOS when I was doing that USB stick. It may not see it until I go into BIOS. We'll find out here. Yep, that's what it's doing. Okay. So I'm going to hit Control-Alt-Delete, and let's see. I think I hit delete to get into BIOS on this. I guess you have to do it every time you want to go into a USB device on this one. Yeah, setup is delete on this one. Let's see. That's not the boot. Let's look in there one more time. Oh. Drive A. That's set in there. Whoops. Dummy. That's why it keeps looking for a floppy. That may be why it's doing that. There is no... Yeah, this thing don't have a floppy. I mean, it could. It would run one, but it doesn't have one. Okay, so I don't know how that got that way, but it doesn't even have one. Okay. That might be... Boot sequence, removable, yeah, that's still in there. You don't have any other choices there. Hard disk, now that USB mass storage device that it sees, that's what I want to be first. And actually, oh, okay, now that's only showing, last time I had to go into one of the others. Yeah, first boot device removable, and then of course the hard disk will still work. And you can do CD, which is actually what I usually do. Oh, first. Oh, okay, yeah. There's more than one. Removable, and then second is CD. That's just fine. That's the way I really want it to be. So, yeah, this one's got two options. Hard disk. third boot device. Of course, if there's nothing in the CD-ROM and you don't have a USB in there, then it won't boot to any of that. The only drawback to that is if someone has something in there that's bootable and they forget, it may, now that I got rid of that floppy, it may go ahead and automatically boot to it. We won't know now because I had to go ahead and manually set it. But, okay, yeah, that's good. Boot other devices enabled. I think that would have to be. And then boot up floppy seek is disabled. I knew that was disabled. I saw that last time. Okay, that's all I should need now. But yeah, with that drive A, I think that might have been what was making it. I don't know. We'll see. They're all so different. Okay, exit and save. Okay. There we go. Now, should be booting on Easy2Boot. Now, this is not for installation. It's really, you can install Windows from it. I think he says some. You may still have, no, you don't have to hit a key. I think it's working. Some Linux you can install from, but most of them you can't. You can just boot them and run them live. But that's still really helpful for all of the Linux tools that I've got on here. I'll kind of show them here in a minute. There it is, booting up. And what it's doing is looking through all the folders and finding all the ISOs I have on there. And that's how it populates its boot menu. So it takes a little bit longer to boot up because it's doing that. But that's well worth it compared to the round and round I did for years trying to, you're always wanting to change your multi-boot drive, USB sticks, because you got different needs and because at different times and because they get outdated and you want something newer. Antivirus, this is what I got in there. I know you can't read it, but at least you get the idea of what I'm talking about here. So I've got AVG, Bitdefender, F-Secure, VBA Rescue. Then you go back to main menu. And you can run all those. They're great, Linux. I just redid this. I showed what I was doing. I actually got very lucky. I stopped in the nick of time. I almost filled the drive up, overfilled it. But I stopped with like 1.1 gig left just by kind of chance, really, adding stuff to it. I just had that feeling I better watch out. So I have BFO on there, bootfedora.org, and that'll I don't know that I did it from this, but I did it from maybe a USB stick. I installed Debian on something with it. Well, it's pretty cool. You just go to it and you get everything from the server. The only thing is you got to have enough RAM, and the machine's got to have enough processing power to handle doing all that in memory. Boot repair disk, Debian Live 9. Now this is where, see, that wouldn't fit. It's actually exactly the same size as my USB stick, and I've tried that before. It's 1.9 gigabyte, and I get, well, depends on which file manager you look in. Some of them say you have 1.8, some say 1.9 on those little USB sticks. So might have made it, but probably not. So I just put it on here because I wasn't going to install from it anyway. I went ahead and put the Debian Web 9.4.0 web installer on my USB stick. And that way I can just pick anything to do with Debian 0.9 on there and do it. Well, I think it has to be AMD. I think you have to have the right architecture. But, you have to download the ISO with the right architecture. But I've got AMD 64, which is 64-bit AMD and Intel. And then i386, which is AMD and Intel. 386 and up. Well, it really doesn't go all the way back to 386 anymore. I was going into that the other day. I don't know why they don't just change the name, but if you have a 32-bit processor that's say about, now I'll say 686 and up. It was all the way back to 486, but I think from what I've been reading, they dropped 586 and back with the Debian 9. And DRBL. Distance from bootable, that's pretty cool. You can boot that up on a machine, and then other machines can boot to it over the network. It's fun to play with, but you have to have a dedicated router for it because it throws out IP addresses. Or turn off your IP server on your one router, and then you won't be on the internet anymore, though. Well, unless you do some hard work fixing it up, but like getting your IP address from your modem and all that stuff. because you won't have your DHCP server running unless you get your, well, it depends on your router, but most of them work with DHCP automatic IP addresses. Fedora games, I put that on there. Make Compass is what I would like to run on her machine, so I want to try it out. And I'll probably go ahead and try it out from that other USB stick. I could try it out from here too. I might try, well, I'll try the Bang 9 because that's the one I can't run without doing it this way. Then Live Security and XFCE, and that's the one that might, if Mate wouldn't run, XFCE might run okay on there. So yeah, I can try out everything on here with this, unless of course I need to make files contiguous, but I don't think I do because the last time I put a bunch of stuff on there I didn't. And the other thing I have is some Windows 7 installer, so I won't even go into that menu. Let's see, I want to try, yeah, Mate. I don't want 32-bit, I want 64-bit, so let's see how that does. That darn machine, there's only one thing it keep, now that's what you get when the files are not made contiguous, so gonna have to do that evidently. Hit Control-Alt-Delete. I wonder if anything else will boot. That Fedora might boot. We'll find out before we, well, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, if that one won't boot, then I guess I'll try out Fedora on my USB stick before I go. I'm going to have to take this and put it back in my machine and try to figure out how to make the make files contiguous. That's what happens when they're not, it's really just defrag. I don't know why they don't just say defrag. It's probably the more proper way to say it. I was not completely sure about that. I thought it might be something different for a while, because I've always only ever heard the term defrag, defragment your files. But I had seen, and things I was reading over the years, something about defrag. I probably said defrag your drive to make the files contiguous or something, and I just never really picked up on it too well. But yeah, we'll go through here, and since there Windows install menu, that's where you have to put those. They always have to be in the right folder, so you have to read through that and figure it all out. And I'm not going to do it, I'll just show it, but see. Then there's the Windows 7, and there's 64-bit. There would have been two folders because I had some 32 bits, but I took them out of there because I needed the space, and I'm not planning on installing 32-bit anyway. I am going to put Windows 7, I have a Windows 7 Pro professional license. There's one's premium and one's pro. I didn't notice that. And I thought one was, they're both 64-bit. So it's pro that I have a license for. I have home and pro. I don't have a premium license. I could have deleted that file. I was thinking that was 32-bit. What was I thinking? I wasn't thinking. I thought it was, I don't know what I was thinking. Back to main menu. I'm glad I looked in there. I can delete that and save 3 more gigabytes of space. You know what? I think even though that says premium on there, I think it might be pro. I think it's just a different ISO. I don't know. I'll have to look. I don't need but one anyway, probably most likely. Okay, Linux, and I do have, let's see, where is it? The one that says Windows Boot menu. Now this is where you would put something like this, a Windows tool. I have Hiren's Boot CD in there, which is a mini XP, and it's got all these cool tools. And I kind of want to boot it to find out. One of these I saw on there, sometimes you have to give an ISO a different extension. You have to rename it, and it doesn't show you. Yeah, it does. Okay, this one is just down at the bottom where it's yellow. You probably can't see that at all. I can barely see it. Boot, Hiren's Boot CD 15.2 ISO, and this one is Hiren's Boot CD ISO Win VH. Now maybe that I either tried that and it didn't matter, or that's the only one that'll boot, and I need to delete the other one, and I just keep forgetting to do it. But I need to try it out and make sure which one's which. Note to self. I don't use this all the time, so I forget, And then when I use it, I'm busy. I want to do something else, something important, and I don't have time to do all that other stuff. But it fills up the little 32 gigabyte card too, with junk that you can't even use. So I did get rid of them a lot a while ago. So let's try the Fedora and see. Yeah, let's try Fedora XFCE since I have the mate comp is on my USB stick. Let's see if this one will boot. Let's see. Now that, I used to think you had to answer that and yes or no, but if you wait, it'll answer itself. You could hurry up and answer it if you wanted something out. Error. ISO is smaller than the ISO Fedora XFCE. Cannot copy, replace contig ISO with a larger file. Any contents. I don't know what that means. Probably because there was a file. I bet there must be a contig ISO file that I made with a different version of well, it still shouldn't have the same name though. Press enter to try Iso-boot for Linux ISOs only. I'll do that. It might make it work. Now, okay, warning, this may not work on NTFS. Use FAT32. This is not NTFS. May not work if the ISO volume label does not match the file name. Okay, this will not work if the ISO volume name contains a space. Well, I don't have a space in there. Okay. Oh, I see. These are just warnings. Okay, and then it gives a long. Okay, so you can still try. It was just telling you what might go wrong. It won't really, as far as I've never had it hurt my ISO or anything to just keep trying, but you're just wasting your time if you don't read the messages and figure out what's going on. You're wasting your time and getting frustrated, but also you need to know why it works and why it doesn't work. It does tell you a lot, but that machine I was saying a while ago, that fan's making noise again. One time it'll be perfectly quiet, and the next time it's making all kinds of noise. And I can't figure out for sure which one it is either. I think maybe it's the one on the back. Sometimes if you bang on them, it'll make them quit. Sometimes it makes them worse. Will it change the tone? It's not making that noise that was driving my ears crazy, but I still hear sort of a rattle. I may end up having to. I think it's that back fan because that's what I did. Of course, just because I banged on the back don't mean I didn't shake the other fans. Shook the whole thing. I hit it so hard. But one of the fans may be trying to wear out on that thing. Sometimes you can just take them all apart and clean them real good. Don't grease them. That makes it worse. I used to put white lithium grease in them, and I didn't know that stuff got hard over time. And man, that's the worst thing I ever did to anything. Matter of fact, I don't know anything that stuff's good for. I used to put it on my door hinges, and after it don't take it but a few months. It'll work pretty good on door hinges for two months maybe, and then after that it gets hard, and they just start squeaking worse than ever. And then it's hard to clean that crap off of there. Talk about trying to clean that off of a computer fan, something tiny like that. Best thing I finally figured out to do with the computer fan is to clean it really well. Take it all apart if you have to and clean it. If you can spray with electrical spray, just make sure you don't use too much or the kind that will melt the plastic. But take it apart and spray it with electrical spray. Get all the grime and grub off of it, and they'll work like brand new for a long time. Because they're just brass bushing or copper bushings, not even brass, they're just copper bushings. They will wear out. This is taking a long time, and I'm thinking maybe, let me read these. SDB, wrap protection is off, no caching mode. I don't see any, can't see, a lot of times if Fedora's not going to boot, you'll see a whole bunch of disk errors, can't read the disk, and this and that and the other. As a matter of fact, if you've got a broken file system or a broken hard drive in the machine, Fedora won't really boot most of the time because it tries to mount whatever drive you have in the machine. But on the other hand, that's fantastic if you're trying to fix a broken LVM or something, or fix anything wrong with a Fedora system, as long as it's not, the file system's not completely broke, because it will mount it up for you and you can get your files back real quick. So it just depends on what you need. Debian will go ahead and boot even if the hard drive's bad, but Debian can't access LVMs, at least not without jumping through a lot of hoops. Yeah, I don't think it's going to boot. It's throwing up the same error over and over now. So, Boy, I had to hold that button in forever. Okay, so I hard shut it down. Since I'm all set up, well, let's stick with one. Stick with one thing at a time. Let's see about getting this fixed. Let me get back on my machine. All right, now back to the desktop. What happened to my? Oh, it hasn't picked up my mouse yet. I bet it didn't connect right good on the KVM switch. Okay, now I think we can try it again. All right, desktop. Now, let me put this in the machine. Let it get mounted up, and I'm going to reload my preview over there and make sure I'm doing good. That background there is one of the weirdest pictures I ever took. Now, that has been photoshopped, as they say, but the original picture, the only difference is it's just different shaped and it's like mirrored. But that right there, that little face behind those icons, that showed up in that picture. That was a picture. It was a almost straight up and down rock and dirt wall with a bunch of stuff growing out of it. And we were out camping and fishing several years ago at a place. Say the wrong place up in Oklahoma. I can't think of the name of it. And I had this weird eerie feeling. I know this is strange. Never happened before or since. And I was using a film camera, and I just had the weirdest feeling like something was looking at me. I wish I had that picture and I could show it to you. It's the scariest little face you ever saw. It looks. I think of it as a gnome or a troll. And I took that picture, and later when I developed the film, I saw that face in there, and I couldn't believe it. But you can't see it good. I've got it, but it'd take forever to find it. But I mean, it's such a perfect little face with a pointy nose and a big ugly teeth, jagged teeth. I don't know how in the world that happened. But I didn't take any other pictures that it could have got transposed over onto or anything, unless I don't remember where I got it developed. I had a buddy who was, and I don't know if he developed it or not, but he's a great photographer. And he worked in a film developing place for many years, and he knew how to do all that stuff. But I kind of think I didn't even have him do it. I think I sent it off to this mail order place that I used to use. Anyway, I just thought of that when I saw that. And of course I sat there sidetracked forever with it. Okay, I got my reload. I was waiting on my reload waiting for my thing to reload, and I got sidetracked. Okay, what do I need to do? Okay, let's go to my file manager first. And I'll get over here on that little drive. And I did notice, at least it seems like it is like today. No, it still did it. So, when I'm not making a video, the Crusader doesn't use extra CPU power. But it doesn't matter if I'm in that video folder or not. It uses extra power. So, it's not helping me to stay out of it. Let's see, there's my Easy2Boot drive. Now ISO or underscore ISO is where all those are, and where I put all those. And I have 4.6 gigabyte left now, and a little bit more than what I had before. But yeah, some of those would probably boot, the ones that were already on there. But let's see. Here's the oh, that's config ISO. That must be the information file. Oh, cancel. I wanted to view it, not edit it. Yeah, here. Okay, it's not a text file. So, that's the. I accidentally closed that whole thing. Finger slipped and I double clicked while I was in that general area. Fingers do that a lot. Okay, that config ISO is the file that I was reading about, I think. Let's see, and there's a few other executables in here. E2B editor. Oh, that's where you don't need to run all that. And then text maker. I might have to go back to that page to find. I thought this is where the file was. README. Yeah, it doesn't have the file I was looking for. Now, the one that I ran a while ago was in I guess I'll open up the web browser and get to those instructions. Already forgot. What I may have to do is open up my Windows XP virtual machine and try it in there. There it is, Easy2Boot. Now you can use NTFS file system, but it doesn't work very good for this very much on USB sticks and SD cards. So I use FAT32 file system, but it does say it's supported there now. Make all files contiguous if required. Double click on make this drive contiguous CMD. Oh, make this drive contiguous. Did I see that? That's not there. You know what? I think I have that on that XP virtual machine, and you run it. I think I have it in a folder, or you don't install it. Let's see. Or run the Linux defrag-fs or udefrag command from defrag-fs or udefrag. Udefrag, I remember reading that a while ago. I'm in a different spot than I was in. That's for NTFS. ISO docs Linux folder. Let's go find that spot that explains it a little more. Can't boot some Linux ISOs even if they are not contiguous or write protected. ISO boot feature. Can boot some. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to go into all that. I do know there's a thing where you can rename them. If I go back to the top and start searching again, maybe I'll find what I'm looking for. I can't believe I can't find it. Okay, is this it? Nope. I think you'd find it real easy with the search feature. I think I'm on the same page. Oh, I'm not on the same page. That's why. I'm not on that page that need the quick start. Oops. There we go. Quick start. There. Maybe that. Quick start. I think, okay, now. I think this is it. Yeah, it says remove spaces, special characters, and all that. And I don't ever use those because I've always had trouble with that. And then so he says he uses the underscore. Saw that a while ago. Goes into a bunch more about ways to get around things on that. But here it is, what I was looking for. When config execute. Let's see. Make this drive contiguous CMD. Oh, there we go. That's why I couldn't find it. make this drive contiguous. Oh, and there's another one that says run as admin. So I could try every one of those in my Windows. That it's not a folder, it's a file. Okay, such a long name. I thought it was a folder and then a file at the end. Okay, so I'll try that. But I'm going to try the Linux one again. Maybe I didn't do something right. Okay, so because I'd like to know that that would work. That'd be so much quicker. This step is only required if .imgptn and Linux payload files are fragmented, but you might as well do it now. Yeah, I was reading that a while ago. Okay. And so Linux users can run defrag fs for FAT32 drive or udefrag NTFS drives. So I want defrag fs. So it's in ISO docs Linux utils. ISO. Oh yeah, you got to put the underscore first. Docs. Oh, there's two. There's a big docs. Oh, that's DOS. DOS. You know DOS. DOS. What was it? util? Already forgot. Linux utils. Okay, now here is several scripts and things in here, but the one we want. Okay, there's defrag fspl and defrag fs. PL. What is PL? He didn't say run PL though. I wonder what PL is. And there's not one that says udefrag. Okay, so FMT. Okay, so here's what I did before. I could try them both, I guess, but just taking it out and putting it back in, and I don't know if it could make any difference. I know I have permission to write to it because I just wrote a bunch of files to it, but I'm going to open a terminal in that folder. That's the first thing. That way you don't have to do all the CD to get to the right directory. You're already in the right directory. And I'll just go ahead and try it. / to run it. And it's probably going to say permission denied. Okay. Okay, I think I remembered my root password. And I always get that every time, since it didn't ever used to do that, but now I get that SE Linux thing, and it's that print D thing. Okay, it says permission denied. Now that's really weird. Now, what is defrag fspl? I know it's going to be a program, no? Perl. So Perl script then. Well, let's try the. Well, let's make sure we're not doing something dumb here. So you don't have to deal with this with Linux, Fedora, or Debian for sure, because anytime anything like that needs to be done on boot, they'll just automatically do it for you during boot. You can use this script anywhere if you follow these instructions. I don't want to use it anywhere. I definitely don't want to risk breaking anything. But what I'm going to do is go to the properties and get that whole name. And let's see if the Perl script can run. Oh, I just realized something. Let's try it. What does it say? Permission denied. All right. Properties. Executable. I'll do it with both of them. That way, if I ever come back and try to run either one of them. Okay, now that's probably my problem. Let's find out. I should be able to just, there we go. Yeah, I'm using my keyboard up and down keys to get the recent. I'm going to do the first one first. Permission denied. I'll try the Perl. No, that did not help. That usually helps. That's usually the problem. Okay, so I don't know. I shouldn't have a permission problem. Unless I need to copy that to the main directory or something. How could it defrag the whole thing from up in that directory anyway? I wonder. See, it doesn't tell you it doesn't tell you about. Usually he tells you when there's gotchas and stuff. Let's don't keep fooling with that. Let's go ahead and try to do the way that I know I've had it work before. Now that I know where to go to find it, I'm going to close up all this extra stuff so that I can run my virtual machine without overtaxing the system too much. Alright. Now, yeah, if I can't run it, then I'm kind of in trouble, and I don't know why I got to where I can't run it. So that's my WinXP virtual machine. And by the way, WinXP Pro, if you set it up as a Windows terminal by doing a little bit of registry changes, it will get security updates until 2019. Yeah, you didn't know that? Well, I found it by accident several years ago. And this one gets updated automatically. Now, watch it break or something. But I don't think it works on Windows Home because I tried it on my laptop with Windows Home. It never worked. Never saw it update. It drives you crazy too. It'll get hung up sometimes, and you got to delete all the update files and stuff. Well, actually, I think this one it may not update anymore because it's only got like 3 GB left or something of space, or even less. I'm about 2. I can't add anything to it or anything and update. Well, the other day I used BleachBit and cleaned up all the old update files and everything. I think I got it back up to about 3 GB. Now let's see if I can get to the drive. I may have to go mount it. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Yeah, okay, so you don't see it. Well, I did have, yeah, there it is. I have it set to already be shared, that particular drive. I get an error when I boot that virtual machine when it's not plugged in. Okay, now, run as admin. I'm going to try, running it as admin because, or does it matter? Well, let's just try them both. Let's see. I don't know if I want to I think I just want to double click on it. Yeah, that's the way you would do it in Windows. Okay, run it. Let's see what happens. I'll run that one and then I'll try the other one. Now there you go. It's opening up the command line. What does it say? I think it's working. Doesn't say an error. Doesn't show an error. Okay, I think it's done and it didn't have. Let's try this one now. May have to. Error. This drive is an ETB drive. Please run from folder on your hard disk. Press any key to continue. Doesn't make sense. Maybe I need to copy that over to my. I don't think I ever did something like put it in here or anything. Well, if I did, I would probably put it in. Let's make sure everything's showing like it should on my. I think I would have put it in my folder I have for doing stuff like that. Program backups. Rename Windows executable starter. Auto updates to get that working again. Start up CPL. I wouldn't want, well, I guess it wouldn't hurt anything. It's just to make files contiguous. Let's copy it over. That other one, I know I had some files that need made contiguous, and I just don't. I've seen it run before, and I don't think it worked because it didn't. It went too fast. That's the reason why I'm wanting to keep on trying. So I'm going to close Windows Explorer because if I'm going to copy any of that stuff, then I'll use my twin panel file manager, the very first one I ever discovered, Windows Commander. Oh, I mean Total Commander, because they got sued and they had to rename it to Total Commander. I've been using that since Windows 3.1. I bought that software. It was so good. Oh, what folders I'm in there? What is that? G is actually what? Down? No, backup. Oh, that's my big old backup drive. Okay, so I want to go to this 32 gigabyte. So what I'm going to do is copy those to a folder in that program backup. So that's where I was. Okay. I want I'm going to have to just hand type it. It's getting too complicated. New folder, E2B, make can't see that it's so D-I-O-U-S. Make C-O-N-T-I-G. What? There's no I in there. It's U-O-U-S. C-I-N-T-I-G U-O-U-S. C-I-N-T-I-G U-O-U-S. U. I have no idea. I can't see that. I'm gonna have to get. I hate that. C-O-N-T-I-G U-O-U-S. I'm having to get my magnifying glass to read my computer screen. I guess I need to work on the. It's a lot harder with Windows. You gotta change the resolution instead of. You can't just. I'm just gonna right click on them to make them red so you can see them, and I'm gonna. QEMU test. Yeah, I don't want that. Update. Yeah, and the only other one is update Easy2Boot drive, but I don't think that helps. Okay. Well, actually, I guess I can stay in here to try and run it. That one that says run as admin, I probably should have said right-clicked in. Let's just try it. Oops, I actually meant to do that other one. But that's all right. Please run this file from the drive you want to make contiguous. Press any key to continue. Okay, so see, that's what I thought. Okay. Now, I'm kind of worried about clicking on this one, but we'll see. Just went away. Yeah, so whatever that error was, I didn't quite get it right. I had it right to start with. It just tried to run and went away. I'll leave it just like it is in case it's running in the background, because if it is defragging my Windows XP drive, I mean, how are you going to find that out? Oh, I don't know if these Control-Alt-Delete, what will that do in a virtual machine? It depends. If it's going to do it to my machine, well, it doesn't seem to be bringing up the task manager. That's the only way I ever got the task manager up. I don't remember how to get to it. Wait. I've never got to it that way. Okay. Is it Task Mon or Task Manager? I think it's Task Mon. Nope. I don't know how to do that either. Browse. Oh, I don't remember the command for Task Manager. Now they'll have those bogus commands in there. Okay, so it won't hurt to leave that little video file in there, but I guess I'll leave it. Let's get these back on some drives that are actually always going to be there. Okay, now. There we go. click and see what happens. Not send to. Properties, I guess. It doesn't have a run as administrator on the right click. Actually, I guess since I'm in XP and I think this user is an administrator user, I don't think I have to do that. Okay, I want to do it again just to see what it says. Make Easy2Boot USB drive using. Make a USB drive using RPM press view. This drive is an EPU drive. Please run this from a folder. Oh, that's a good thing that didn't run. That was trying to make an US. It does say make ETB USB drive. It doesn't say make. Sorry, I cannot read. You've probably been yelling at me like wishing I could hear you. Or maybe you've been. If you were actually there, I could look over there and see that you tried to chat with me and say, "Hey, dummy." But you weren't watching, so you didn't tell me. Make this drive contiguous. It's the only one, yeah, that does that. And does it work or not work? Let's see. Can't just say run as a, yeah. It would probably just not run at all if it wasn't being able to run as administrator. I mean, I can look in my permissions, but I think I'm administrator on here. Oh no, it doesn't want to. But it held up there for a while and then did some stuff. Let's see. Maybe it just didn't really have a lot of work to do. Because it doesn't just close right away like it crashed or anything. Could be that I'm done and I'm keeping trying on to fix it. Oh, it's running ISO docs. Make this drive continuous. exe docs. I just saw, but what it's connected to. Those instructions said something about. I didn't catch the last folder, but. Maybe I've been doing it the hard way. Maybe I forgot. There's all the programs for making the drive. Yeah, you can't run the drive, make a drive from, I mean, they're stored there so you'll always have them, but you need to copy all those to make a new Easy2Boot drive. You got to copy them over somewhere else, and then it'll write to your USB. Of course, be careful, don't have an extra, like your USB backup drive plugged in, or you'd be formatting it. So again, if you ever do this, don't have anything but the one drive you want to format plugged in. Yeah, I better watch out. I click on the wrong thing, and I could, because that my big backup drive is shared with this XP virtual machine. That tells me that, and you may, well, unless you should be safe with your hard drive. I'm going to unmount it. Should be safe with your hard drive because it's not should be, but be careful because it's not going to show up as a USB drive, but a USB drive will, and that's what my backup drive is. I didn't. Oh, win config. That must be it. There we go. Oh, that must be just a link. Okay, now here's that WinConfig execute, and there's a CMD. Now normally you'd run the executable, so let's try that. And this you do run from the Easy2Boot drive. But what's crazy is I've always been doing it from that one on the main. There it is. Maybe I thought I was. This is what I've been looking for. This is what opens up. I knew there was something really off about that. Now, does it run automatically, or do you have to tell it to run, or what? Maybe I should have clicked on that CMD and it would have opened this up. I swear I used to just click on that one that I've been clicking on at the root there, and it worked. Let's see. I think that CMD might, whoops, cancel. I was about to close the whole thing. Let's look. Add object, file, folder. Okay. I'm going to hit exit because I think maybe that's how it was in those instructions. It had that, and then the rest of the sentence it said WinConfig. Now, I don't know if that CMD will open up WinConfig or what. We'll see. I mean, if it was going to, you would think the one that was on the root drive would, but maybe I put it there thinking that's how I was supposed to do it. No, it doesn't do it. Either that or it's actually done and doesn't need to run again. But let's just, since I've been having trouble for a long time with some of my ISOs working and some not, I'm going to open it up and point it to the my Easy2Boot thing. Let's see. Add one or more files to be. Click arrow, add folders. See, click the arrow to add folders. Okay. There we go. Now, no, this was automatic before though. Okay. Oh, at the bottom it says add folder. I think you have to click on it first. So I want this one. And I guess you could just do the ISOs, but, well, there's ISOs in a bunch of different folders, so. See if it'll let you do that. You don't really want to do, I've got a folder that says Dons files in there. Well, I want that. Dons files, what is in there? Oh, I didn't know. Oh, that's right. There's no ISOs in anything but the ISO folder, so that's all I need. Okay, now then. That should, not waste time trying to do it to other folders anyway. Oh, it did take E. It took the whole thing. Do you want to delete it or do you want to remove it? No, I just want to remove it. That'll probably remove all my selections because the E is ISO. No, it didn't. Okay, E ISO. That's all I actually want, I guess. What else would there be? Let's look and make sure. One more time. Add a folder. I can always just hit cancel or close. Yeah. Those are my personal files, things that I use on that. I don't use it just for Easy2Boot. And, of course, my license keys for when I install something and all that. Lost directory, we don't need to defrag that. Yeah, so all we need is the ISOs folder. Now but it used to just open it up and run it automatically. That's why I don't know what's going on. Okay, yeah, it says defragment. What else are the other options? Oops, I was trying to hit that arrow and it didn't work. Okay, oh, it's complete. Okay. That was awfully fast. Maybe it did work. Like I was saying at the beginning of all this circle game here, it did work from the beginning, and yeah, there's no operation, not fragmented. Okay, so maybe my ISOs will work now. So there's another way to run it then. So I think I was doing it right all along. I think it just Well, but I remember seeing it open up that graphic program. I didn't remember. I knew there was something odd that was off, but once I saw it, I was like, now that's what I remember. So finally, I know for sure that I've, run that on it. Now, why I can't run it from Linux, I don't get that, because I can write. Maybe I should go get in that ISOs folder and try it. I hadn't thought about that. Could be that it just can't be run from the root of that thing. Might be that. Well, I guess I can try it and see. Unless I do need to take that. Well, for Windows I didn't have to. Take that file out of that folder. I think I already tried that, didn't I? Yes, I know, I'm turned around. Well, that has to completely shut down before I can go on and do other fun things. Okay, now. Yeah, I'm going to try it. I know it's taking more time, but this has been thorn in my flesh for a while now. I'm going to figure this out while I'm got it in my head. Okay, so ISO docs in config. That's the one I was just using. Linux utils. Oh, I would have to be in this little script would have to be in the folder that I want to run it on, I guess. Unless I could tell it do it here, but give it the right commands, and I don't really know how to do that. But what I guess I can do, it's already in the ISO folder though, isn't it? Only thing I can imagine that might help is put it in the root. ISO docs, put it in the root of the ISO directory. It's not already in there, is it? Or a shortcut to it or something? I think I'll make a shortcut to it. It's such a small file. Let's don't risk having a problem. Okay, copy. See what happens when I do that. Let's see if it's still executable. No, let's make it executable because it's an executable file. I'll just leave that one as it is. Well, let's put both of them over there. I don't think they work together, but let's do it anyway. Okay. Now, the instructions didn't say run the, I forgot what kind of script that was, but they didn't say run that. They just said run defragfs. So, open the thing there. Now that should only defrag that. Whoops. Oh, I remember. I have that in. No, it's gone now that I. Yeah, there it is. Defragfs. Permission denied. Doesn't show up with the, what is it, PL? No such directory. Oh, I typed it wrong. Oh, I didn't. Huh. Yeah, doing that didn't help. Let's make sure I didn't mistype anything. Defragfs. Permission denied. I know I'm not gonna. Still says permission denied. That doesn't really make sense to me. Okay, so I'm going to get those out of there because they're not doing me any good. Make sure I don't forget and leave something in the wrong place. But I did it successfully with the Windows. So I'm going to figure it worked. And try it again. Yeah, this is what fun you get to have when you're messing with all this stuff. When it works good, it's wonderful. I'm going to put my USB. put my USB back in its. This is not supposed to be a sidetrack on doing all this stuff, but it is now. Okay, now I got it back over there in the other machine. Now, if it doesn't work, I won't try anymore. I'll just use the USB sticks that I have. I won't be able to boot to a live Debian, but I'll be able to. I will be able to. Now, what I want to do, got to switch to the other machine. Okay. Now, to make me feel better, I'm going to reload my preview over there. Okay, now that I've changed that floppy stuff on that machine, maybe it will boot properly. We'll see. I'm going to wait for my preview to load first. Make sure I'm all live the way I should be. Now that I've changed that floppy stuff on that machine. Yeah. Yeah, maybe it won't make me go into BIOS again. Maybe this machine you just have to. But my other machine, this is AMD and it's a BioStar motherboard. It's the one that's Intel that I have, same age. It just always boots the USB if there's one in there. Of course, I don't remember. Yep, it worked. Okay, it was that floppy setting. I've had that happen before. So it wouldn't look for a USB because the floppy was turned on. It doesn't do you no good if you don't even have a floppy drive on the machine. Yeah, those machines, I think both of them are, unless you change the settings like that, then they're going to be automatically find a USB that's bootable. Of course, it could be a problem. I know I have one or two laptops that if there's a USB in there, even if it's not bootable, it will just give you a black screen and a cursor. And so that'll make you think for a minute. And of course, someone else who doesn't know anything about all this, they're screwed. Oh no, my operating system's dead, you know. So, matter of fact, this being Mom's machine, well, I don't know. That might have been, I could have possibly done that just to keep that from ever happening. I don't remember now. It's been too many years since I built this thing. Okay, now we want to try the one I was trying before, Debian Live A80s. Debian x86 64-bit. No, it did not help. Crap. Makes me mad. Didn't do anything to help it. Huh. I don't know why that's doing that, because it should work. I'll try the 32-bit just to see. Sometimes the different versions of the same operating system. I don't think there's any odd characters in those file names. I didn't go through and just triple check them. There could be dots in there or something. But I think I wouldn't expect it to do that. I would expect it to just have an error telling you it can't be booted or something. So we'll see. I know you can't believe me now, but this is actually usually a really cool and fun thing to use. It's not usually an aggravation. At least like I said, once you get it set up, and I already had it set up before, so. While that's doing, I'm checking my stream again just because I want to see what it's looking like. If I could leave it playing, I would. But can't do that. Let machine can't handle it. Okay, I'm not going to try the Debian. Let's try the 386 and see. I haven't tried it yet. That means I'll have to reboot again when it does that. And I know I was always able to boot Fedora images on here. And now that I understand for sure that that is just plain old defrag is all that is, that make files contiguous, I can run any defrag program, Windows defrag anyway. I don't know about, that's the first time I've ever even known there was, I've never been able to find a Linux defrag program that I could think of. Unless there's, I don't know. I remember finding a lot of different specialty programs for, you know, SD cards and USB sticks, but you know, I could try running some other program besides that one little script on there, and it might even work. Be able to work if it's from, you know, not on that drive, you know. All right, I want to try the Linux, one of the Fedora ones before I, you know, say it's not going to work. I'm not going to keep on trying to fix it. I'll do that on my own time later. This is my own time, but, you know, I'm making a video. So, yeah, Fedora Mate, that's the one I'm interested in right now. There's something wrong here, definitely. I don't know what. I'll go ahead and I'm going to reboot it one more time and see if it boots one of the older ISOs that I expect to work. And then I will just go to my USB sticks. I think I'm fixing to have to take a break again anyway, so I guess I'll divide this video up again. After this, I'll take a break and then come back. It's usually better for the cameras anyway. They start getting out of sync. The longer they run, they get more and more out of sync with the audio. The camera and the mode, most of all, I think it's even more than the phones. I think it's my router. If I reboot all that stuff, then it'll get back to being reasonably in sync at least. Dang it. This thing used to work really good. It could be these newer ISOs. Maybe it doesn't support them yet. But I don't think there's really any real difference in the ISO setup for, you know, 27 than there is for 23. I used the same Fedora media writer for it. Of course, I haven't tried it yet. The one on my stick, for all I know, it doesn't work either. Okay, I'm going to try BFO. That's an old one, little bitty ISO. That's the one I keep talking about. That's why I thought I'd try it. It will, and it could be that I just need to rename them. There's different instructions about if it doesn't work, try renaming it with this or that. And maybe if I did that, it would make it work. We'll see. Looks like that's working. And if it's able to connect to the server and everything, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, you got good local boot. Install currently supported Fedora releases, rescue Fedora Rawhide, install pre-releases, end of life releases, which would be like Fedora 23, which I'm running right now. So let's see if it gets to the new. It sure does. Fedora 27, everything. Fedora 27 workstation, Fedora 27 server. Oh, and then there's 386 server, 386 everything. This, you know, I haven't tried it in a long time, and I believe I did Debian, not Fedora. Okay, if workstation would be the wrong, that would be the desktop I don't want. So let's say x86 64 everything, and it should. Well, I think it'll go to an installer. I don't think it'll go to a live system. I'm almost certain it won't. Well, this will take a little bit, So now I'm thinking, okay, instead of stopping the video and all that stuff, I'm going to go take that break while this is doing this. And I'm pretty sure I'll be back in time. I won't be talking, sorry, but guess I could, yeah, I'll type a little thing in the chat saying I'll be back. Okay, I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Not quite ready, but I'm back. Yeah, and it's not ready. That's what I was saying. It takes a long time for this thing to boot up over the internet. And but it does look like it's working. And it could be if you know if you don't mind waiting for that and everything. And again, like I was saying before, it really could be a good alternative to learning how to, download and burn the images and everything. If you can wait, and if your machine can run it and all that stuff. I got to get my stuff all back on. Glasses are dirty too. Okay, let's see. Type on that little deal. Okay, now, like I said, I'm still not quite done. I got to get my wireless mic all on and everything. Okay, where's my? Oh, there it is. I had scrolled my page down to get to the chat thing, and I couldn't see my preview over on my laptop. So yeah, this is sitting there, and it looks like it's not doing anything, but I've done this a few times, and it'll set for a long time in the same place, and then it'll start bringing in some more, terminal readout, and the next thing you know, it'll pop up. So, but it does take a good while, and I'm not actually wanting to do it, but I think my glasses are so dirty that they're driving me nuts. So I think I'll clean them, wait a little longer, and then probably still end up getting out of it. And trying to debate here. I kind of feel like maybe I've been going, how long? Well, I guess I've been going an hour and 30 minutes about. Going by that crazy, if I didn't pay attention at the start there, but I think the counter starts at -1 hour still. It says 28 minutes. There's something on there and 29 minutes on there. So it'd be a good time to restart the phones and the router and everything and get them. The router, like I said, is the main thing that. It starts making everything lag when it gets its cache full and its memory full and everything. And this is the best one I've had. It's a new one. It's a D-Link. I don't know, remember the model number, but it's a D-Link, and it's fastest Wi-Fi and everything that I've ever had. But this streaming makes them work, I guess. I think I went almost 4 hours one time, and it did not quit on me or anything. And I think the TP-Link, I was using it before. I think it might have got to the point that there was like a 30-second delay, between the audio and the video, and it didn't do that. TP-Link, I would... And it would, funny thing is, it would usually make it through the stream, and then it would quit working after I stopped the stream. And I would forget sometimes to reboot, Okay. Starting to get kind of hungry, so I know I ain't going to be able to go much longer. And I'm thinking, well, if I go and reboot everything and start new, then that takes another 10 or 20 minutes to get everything all back up and going again. So I'm wondering if I should just do the next. Kind of would be nice to start a new stream since I went around and around with all this Easy2Boot stuff, and it wasn't easy after all. But I'm not going to sit here and wait on this. I'm sure it would work. It looks like it's working, but that's what it looks like, and then you may have to wait. I think I remember it's generally taken for Fedora, and this is like probably the last one I tried was Fedora 23 or 24 on this. Maybe I might have tried 26, but if I did, I probably did the same thing. I got tired of waiting and I shut it off. Anyway, say about 20 minutes probably to fully boot up. I think 15 to 20 minutes. So I don't want to wait that long because I'm not going to use it. You know, I mean, it'd be nice to show it on the video, but not for this long. Wait this long. So let's see. If I hit Control Delete, yeah, it immediately quits. So that let's see. Oh, yeah. I guess I won't be able to do that tonight. I had planned on checking out that new hard drive, like with Parted Magic or something. Make sure it's not, you know, it didn't come DOA. I haven't done anything but just look at it. I haven't plugged it into anything. But now I'm getting tired and hungry, so I'll be doing really well to get my, turning my head over there looking at everything. Makes volume go down. When you turn your head away from the mic. Anyway, I'll be doing really good just to boot up to those other 2 USB sticks and check them out. My whole goal here, I haven't even got started on it, and that is to see how well that machine can run. I already know it'll run Fedora, Debian, but I wanted to see it, try it anyway, but I haven't got anything to boot yet, except for the installer, and see how well it would run Fedora 27 with Mate Desktop. But I can do that off that. Should be able to do that with no problem off the that USB stick over there. That's just made by Fedora Media Writer, you know, no other backdoor things that could cause trouble like I've just had, and I don't know why I'm having trouble with these ISOs I just put on here. I've got Parted Magic 2013 there, I-46, Super Grab Disk. Parted Magic boots kind of slow. I was thinking about booting one of them, but I don't have that thing in there. Yeah, all this other stuff I just put on there, it's not booting. So this is from a bootable, probably would boot, but I don't really need to put that on there. Boot that. I guess it would. It's still on there. Rescue Tux. Parted Magic. I think it'll boot. That's the only one that I really want to make sure it boots. So I might as well try it now, I guess. And you want the newer one for 32 runs from RAM. 64. I think that's 32 and 64 bit. I don't know. Let's see. Intended for 312 megabyte systems. Intended for 312 megabyte. I think that is 32 and 64. So I'll just go with the 64 since this is a 64-bit system. On a faster system, this is pretty fast, even though it's a dual core. Way faster. Well, I'm usually always doing this on these older machines, you know, the single cores. It doesn't take too long to boot up. But Parted Magic, well, if I wouldn't have ran it in RAM, it'll actually boot faster if you don't put it all in RAM, usually. But if the machine's fast enough and has lots of RAM, it's not too bad. But the cool thing about running it in RAM is then you could take out, well, the original idea was when it was always on CD, you could, you know, eject the CD and put other CDs in there to do your work without, you know, with the operating system still running because it's running in RAM. And I've used that capability before, you know, but now that it's always on USB, it doesn't really matter because you can just pop in another USB. You always got enough USB ports, you know. lost track of, oh, here we go. There's something. Yeah, oh, I see. We've seen what time it was. Now, see, this is it's booting like it should. And, of course, that BFO was trying to boot. It was booting. It's just going to take a long time for it to download everything. But I don't know why. I can't imagine both Debian and Fedora being changed in such a way in their ISO structures that they won't boot on this Easy2Boot. But I don't know what else to think, since it said I ran the make files contiguous and it said it was okay, everything was okay, unless there is that one thing that says update. There's one little script or executable that says update Easy2Boot. I'll have to read up on that. Maybe that would fix it. I didn't device. That's what I'm booted to, the DVD, and this is the hard drive. So this is in good health. No red error. A lot of they need to be defragged, you know, a lot. I used to think that was a problem with Linux because I could never find anything about a defrag program, but I've ran Linux on all these different drives for years and years, and it gets around that. It works around it automatically. Those bad sectors. I did find out that there's a setting you can put, you know, to tell the operating system to stop using those bad sectors. And with not defrag, but with fixed disk, there is a fixed disk for Linux, by the way. Check disk, or well, it's let's see, check disk for Windows. Yeah, it's check disk for Linux too, I think. Anyway, check disk fix. I just looked over at my preview and it's just showing that it wasn't booted up yet, and then oh yeah, I paused it. In the partition editor, I think there's actually one in the gparted here. So here's the disk, and I don't want to do, and it doesn't need any of that, but well, I already know that it's in good shape. Well, that was the disk itself, not the file system, but this is the layout I have on it. See, I've got that's the boot partition, that's the LVM, the whole Linux Fedora 14, and then this is the whole extended partition. There's the boot partition for Linux Mint. Well, that's the whole thing, and then there's the swap. Yeah, it's all on one partition. It doesn't have an extra boot partition, and the swap is for both of them. But you can right click and say we can do information and check. That was what I was talking about. That would run check disk. But most of the time, well, this is an older version of gparted. Ran it on a what did I run it on? I ran it on I think it was ran it on. I don't think it was a hard disk. I think it was it's that out of there now. Always take a chance. It's funny, you know. It's been well. I mean, I didn't really think that was a chance just putting those new ISOs on there. Usually they run. So I got to get off that machine. All right. Now back to the desktop, and actually, I'm not going to do anything else on the desktop. Back to me. Okay, so I think I really want to come back. I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to reboot all my cameras and routers like I was talking about, make sure they're going to work good. But I don't know. I didn't want to eat I ate a little snack, some nuts and stuff earlier, and carried me over till now. Now I'm getting hungry fast, so I either got to eat supper or eat another snack. Didn't want to eat supper till I was done. Is what I have in my head. I'm going to count how many hours since I had lunch. Maybe it's just flat time to eat. Okay. Of course I could eat supper and then go back and make another video. It'd just take me another hour or so. Maybe the thing I should really reasonably do. Okay, what I had in my head is get done with all this, eat supper, and watch a YouTube video, and then go to bed, or two, and then go to bed. But I'm actually not super tired. I'm just getting really, really hungry. Okay, so I didn't reload my preview over there to make sure everything looked good. If I thought people were watching, I'd worry about it. You know, telling what I'm going to do ahead of time, but nobody's watching. So, I think as hungry as I'm feeling, I'll probably be the wisest thing to do is eat first. So maybe I will do that. A lot of times when I eat, it makes me so sleepy that I don't feel like doing anything else. I don't guess it's a big deal necessarily, but I just have those 2 USB sticks all ready to go, and I didn't get to them yet. All right, well, I'm going to go, and kind of think I better eat. And if I don't get too sleepy and everything, then I may, probably come back and boot those USB sticks tonight and everything. If not, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, this is Dawn. That was fun. Okay, bye-bye.